Yeah, from Little Kim, the Queen Bee. It's ladies' night, what? It must be Angie on the mic. The butter pea, honey, got the sugar, got the spice. Roll the L tight, keep the rhymes right, yo. I just made this motherfucker up last night. And I'm the rookie on this all-star team. Me and Kim is getting cream, like Thelma and Louise, but on chrome. Never leave that Brooklyn shit alone. So if you say it's on, then it's on. Bang this in your whips, stack them Coda-Rody with the chips in the wrist. Here's a French kiss. I dismiss all you chicks. Spit 6 from the 4th, 5th, make it dance. Ow! I stay focused in the dope, it's like a penny with the hole in it.
Hello and welcome. This is Ladies' Night right here on Independent Television. My name is Amize Bazwai. Yes, you can call me the Empress of the Airwaves, no charges. As always on Ladies' Night, we've got something fantastic to talk about. Like last week, we talked about malice. We actually delved into the aspect of grudges, the reasons why you shouldn't keep grudges with people and how it affects our relationships on a daily basis. Today, we're going to be continuing from where we stopped, but we're going to be looking at it in another dimension. Normally, if you listen to us on radio, Ladies' Night on radio, every Friday, definitely you'd by now know that sometimes we get to have messages or calls from guests or audience who are actually listening to the show and want our opinion and the opinion of the entire audience on a particular situation that they are going through. Now, today we're going to adopt that format that we use on radio right here on television. So we have a lady who sent in a message and she wants us to help her dissect her problem and of course give her solutions to that problem. Before I start talking and start telling you what the problem is, let me introduce the wonderful ladies who are going to be joining me on the show today. I've got Sherifat. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're looking good as usual.
Thank you very much. I also have C. White, Caroline Okonji. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. And finally, we've got Fresh Soruchi talking about Worldwide Mama P. How are you doing?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
You've missed me, are you sure? Anyways, it's glad to have the three of you on the show today. This show wouldn't be interesting if you weren't here. So thank you so much for being here. Now, like I said, last week we talked about grudges. Mama P wasn't here, but definitely you guys were here. So I would let her just tell us what she thinks about grudges. Do you think grudges in any way affects relationships? Not just relationship with boyfriend, husband, relationships generally with your friend, with your workers, your colleagues rather, in your workplace. How do you think that keeping a grudge can impact your relationship with someone?
I think grudge is like, I don't know how I'm going to explain it, an unresolved pain. Do you understand? And it affects a lot. It affects you, your mental health. It also affects the next person, you know, that you are keeping it with. But I'd like to state here, I don't mean to be controversial, but I'd like to state here that there are genuine grudges. People need to realize, while we are talking about the disadvantages of grudges, it stagnates you, it does this, we also have to admit that there are genuine grudges. There are people who have genuinely hurt you, and you have every right to keep it for them until they resolve, until they realize, especially the ones you've once expressed that pain to, and they counted it nothing. You understand? I suppose those people who keep their distance and place it in their hearts. Now, I'm not coming from the aspect of religion, I'm coming as a human being. Until the person realizes, it's that realization that helps and aids healing. So you understand? So
and if the person doesn't realize that they are actually hurting you,
keep your distance.
Okay.
I'm talking
keep your distance with a clean heart. Because last week we talked about why we delved away from malice, because the initial topic was on malice.
Yes.
Now, sometimes when people just refer to malice without knowing what exactly it means, malice is having a very terrible, very nasty feeling towards a particular person.
Yes.
It also involves you not talking to the person. You may pass the person, you may want to see that person's downfall. That's malice.
Yes.
So do you subscribe to that aspect?
I don't subscribe to malice.
Okay.
Do you understand? I don't subscribe to malice, except it's very, I don't know, like I said, important. There are some persons you need to stop talking to. You need to realize that there are some persons that are not needed in your life. You need to stop talking to them, whatever you call it, whether it's malice or, and if I'm praying for your downfall, that's because you are praying for my downfall. It's just like someone, I'm being realistic. It's just like someone who hates you. You know that this person will put you out of job if they have the opportunity, and you have the opportunity to put them out. You put them out of job, because in this life now it's per head. Because the way the country is going, everybody is on his feet for yourself. You hear husbands betraying wives, wives betraying husbands. So even while you are there, you know. So coming, let me not divert. Coming towards malice right now. The intentions, even the Bible says by God actions are weighed. The intentions matter. What caused the malice? I'm not of the opinion that every little thing you are just over the sky, you are so angry, you want to, no, you shouldn't be that person. But you should be that person that whoever hears you are in malice with me will say, no, Ameze doesn't easily get angry. You would have done something wrong. It's just like when I missed your wedding. You had every right. I was scared to come to your DM.
You had to bring this up.
I had to. I was scared. You had every right to keep that malice. Like, we are not talking, babe. Because you expected so much from me. How would you not be there on my wedding day? The wedding we always talk about. And it would be stupid of me at that point to be angry that Ameze is angry. And that, I think this is the issue. People want to channel your anger. People want you to react in a certain way. And verse, but not two verse. No. Let's just allow everybody express and heal. So I don't push for malice. At least when I reached out for peace, you still drew me close. You know, let's always give that room for peace. But in a case where the person has offended me and would not want to realize, no matter how I try to make you see that this thing hurts me bad, though, and you don't want to keep you off. If you call it grudge, if you call it malice, or just, so it doesn't escalate more than that.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else wants to say something just before we start off on what we're looking at today.
Like what she's saying, that's
Okay.
silent treatment.
Okay.
It's almost malice, right?
Silent
Because,
treatment. Like,
yeah, you just want to keep your peace. You
no,
just want
I'm not
to-
a silent.
want-
I don't silently treat people. I make sure you know that I don't know how to do cold words. I don't know how to do salutation is not love. And just greet her, even if you know they talk around. No, I'm 100%. I'm an extremist. 0 or 100. You know, I don't stay in between. And I think if everybody's like that, the world will be an easy place. You will know who is actually keeping grudges with you and who is not. You know, instead of you are smiling with the person but you are burning.
Yeah.
You know, no need. Let's just know that. Like when she was pissed at me, you would just, I said I couldn't go to her DM until I summoned the courage to now want to find a way around and prepare her. And that's how it should be. So
Well,
this whole
for-
malice would be easier. This whole grudges thing would be easier to deal with if we are all expressive. Like, you know, and understand that people have rights to keep grudges. I tell my pastor, there's this person has offended me. Papa, don't tell me to talk to him. I will not. But with time, you know, we are humans. It will still fade. And the essence of my whole conversation is, one, we have rights to keep grudges. At some point in time, keep malice with who is necessary. And also, open room for peace.
Yeah. When
That's
it's
just-
when it's needed.
Okay.
But then again, let me just quickly add to it, although I know I don't want to say anything concerning this because we talked extensively about it last week, but let me just drop this line. Like, sometimes, like what she has said, Mama P have said rather, it's important that you just keep your calm, like you just keep your cool. Not because probably you don't want peace, but you realize that no matter how hard you try to make peace with this person is never going to be positive. Like, it's never going to yield positive results. This person will still want to be the same person he is. So rather than staying in a toxic relationship that hurts you all the time or costs you pain all the time, distance and that's just be on your lane, on your track is the best solution. And if at all, this person doesn't want to talk to you and you're trying as much as possible to talk with this person, and regardless, this person is not a contributing factor to your life or anything, it's not even being impactful, or more, if not grudge you, if not malice, whichever one they will call it, because sometimes people don't understand what you're going through. They just capitalize on your actions, the outward appearance and whatever they are saying to target what they want to target or call it whatever they want to call it without going in details to find out why that person is behaving or reacting that way. So if you that is standing by the side will call my actions malice or grudge, whichever one, I mean, where I should know how they pay me, so I'm cool. So that's it.
Okay, so let's delve into what we are looking at today. Like I said before we started the show, or when we started the show, we have someone who wants our opinion on an issue or a problem, rather, that she's facing right now. So I'm going to read out her message and then we can get talking about it. She says, I got pregnant 9 years ago while dating my husband, and then the issue of marriage came up. I wasn't working then. He told my family and I that he doesn't want a court marriage for no reason. My parents tried talking to him. I cried and begged him severally to legalize his marriage with me, but he stood his grounds not to wed me in a court. I involved his family members to help me beg him, but they said he's old enough to make his decisions. He even refused to do a white wedding, which we know as the church wedding, because my church requested for a court certificate, so we ended up doing only traditional marriage. I later got tired and gave up on the matter. I was hurt and broken, but I resolved to marry him like that, just to save myself and my family the shame of having a baby outside marriage. My dad was angry and disappointed in him, but he did not care. And because of that, my dad vowed to see me a successful and independent woman, with or without him. After I gave birth to my baby, my dad helped me secure a job with a multinational company, and things started to turn around for me. I could now take care of myself and secure a future. Though I married my husband, but I never forgave him from my heart, and it made me not to do anything in my husband's name. We currently have 3 kids together, but all my property are in the name of my children. I never used him as my next of kin either. Just last month, my company decided to transfer me to a branch in Texas, and the company is willing to pay for my entire family to relocate with me. My husband's business is not doing too well, and he's willing to relocate also, but we have no legal certificate to show that we are married. Now, he wants us to go to court to legalize our marriage, and I have said no. My dad has threatened to disown me if I ever go with him to court. He has been tagging me everywhere as a bad wife who is not loyal to her husband, spoiling my family's name also. His own family members have been calling me, trying to persuade me, but I told them I am old enough to make my decisions also, and I have stood my ground just like he did to me 9 years ago. What is your advice for this young mother of 3? That is a question on the program today. She has carried the grudge for 9 good years. The fact that her husband refused to legalize their marriage, refused to do the registry wedding, and of course a church wedding as well. And now that things seem to be looking up for her, her husband decides, okay, let's go and do it now so that I can follow you and we can japa, we can leave Nigeria. What will you ladies say? First, let's talk about the woman, because everybody has their own part to play in this story. There's the woman, there's the man, there's the parents of the woman, there are the family members of the man as well. So what are your thoughts before we start thinking of how to advise her? I'll start off with Caroline, because you sound like a mommy.
Oh my goodness. What's that coming from you? But it's okay. I sound like a mommy. I don't know. What do I have to say now? I should talk about the woman in question, right?
Any angle you want to come from, the woman, the husband, the family members.
Okay, fine. Let me start off by saying that marriage, it's an institution, yes, that we don't pray to graduate from until death do us part. That's what we usually sign when we go to church, even in court. Yeah. So now, in her scenario or in her case, she agreed to marry the man traditionally, regardless of the fact that the man refused to legalize the marriage and also do a church wedding, because the church asked for a legal or traditional court certificate. Now, let me just quickly say that she's already the man's wife.
Traditionally.
Traditionally.
Only.
Yeah, yes, traditionally.
Only.
And tradition, I feel tradition tells you more that, okay, this lady is now your wife. And sometimes if you go to some kind of church wedding, even if they don't ask you for your probably court certificate, they will also ask you, has he done traditional marriage and stuff like that, to let your family know that, okay, he's taking you and stuff like that, you know. So when a man gets married to you traditionally, it can still stand. So in this case where this woman already has 3 kids for him, and then again, you're having plans of relocating based on work issue, and you're also thinking of not legalizing the marriage because of what has happened. Yes, the deed has already been done from the man's angle. But then again, I just feel like asking this question. Is she having plans of quitting the marriage? If yes, then I would say, okay, fine, don't legalize it. But if she knows deep down she's not having plans of leaving the marriage, of which she already has 3 kids from the marriage, then let bygone be bygone. I know it's going to be very difficult to do, especially when you know how much you've craved for that white wedding, court wedding. You want to post where they give, they never marry, so they never give. What do they call that thing that they used to give you people now? Okay.
The certificate.
It's certificate, yeah.
Okay.
So everybody craved for it, like you prayed for it. You literally want to see yourself post pictures of your trad, your registry, and your white. But at the end of the day, your husband denied you. Like sometimes we get to say that delay is not denial, that every disappointment is usually the blessing. Sometimes some of the blessings you are praying for might not really come the way you want it, the way you're expecting it. So in this case, I would say that I'm just going to be like, I know it's very painful. It hurts. But then again, pikin don't enter, children don't enter. It's not 1, it's not 2, 3. We're talking about 3 kids with what she said. So how are you going to do it? Are you really making plans? Because I feel that if you are not ready to spend the rest of your life with this man, you wouldn't have even decided to accept the traditional marriage at first. You would rather prefer to be a single mother, cater for your child, rather than marry a man who deprived you of what you want, like what you wanted to experience as a woman. Then if you know that you could let go of all those things, all those desires, to just settle for just traditional marriage and decide to call him your husband and went as far as having 3 kids for him, you can also look at those children that you are now giving all your achievements, like willing all your achievements, putting their names on all your achievements. You can use because of them and also forgive him and let go. So let me just leave it at that first off.
Personally,
yeah,
I don't know about that, but prompting the next person who's going to be answering right now, she made mention of the fact that the man is now painting her black, calling her names and saying she's a bad wife just because she says no, she does not want to legalize the marriage. Now, do you think that this shows that the man is nothing more than a gold digger? Because he did not see any reason why he should legalize the marriage with someone who he felt was just a liability to him. She don't carry belly in court. So now I have problem. I'm looking for her to buy pampers, how to buy baby food, how to take care of she and the baby and blah, blah, blah. Now she's successful. And her success has gone to the extent that she can now go abroad. And he is currently in a situation where his business is crumbling. So he definitely needs a miracle. Do you think that this man will actually go with her abroad and continue this marriage? Or he will just decide to find his level so that he can actually have his papers there?
Sorry, Mama P, let me just quickly react to that because I didn't really talk about that part. You know, first off, one of the major reasons why this man refused to grant all her wishes was because he never believed in the woman at first. He never saw future. Like he never saw something good coming out of her. He just felt like, I beg you that I'm even trying to help. It could be those are the things running through his mind. Just to cut it short, now that God has started to bless her through her father, and then again, opportunity comes for both of you to travel abroad, and you're thinking that it's just going to be something you can get in a platter of gold after all you've cost her in the past. No. I feel what he's supposed to be doing right now, he go dey lawyer. He's going to be lawyer, not just to the wife, but to the wife's family. He needs to mobilize his entire family. As in fact, if he needs to get a convoy to do that, he needs to go to the woman's family, apologize, let the lady see the sincerity of his heart. But going by what he's currently doing now, is that what?
I saw how good an actor he is.
Yeah, he could be very dramatic, you know, because this kind of person can just do everything he wants to do just to get at the woman and get everything signed, done, and all that. Probably by the time they get there, he just jackpot like what you said.
Okay, I'm looking at the other two discussants on the program.
Yeah.
Mama P is smiling. Sherifat is shaking her head. So I think I want to hear why she's shaking her head before I go to the smiling person.
Okay. Which, am I talking about the woman now?
We're looking at the man. That was the last thing
I'm
before
looking at the man.
jumped in.
For me, this story is quite fascinating, and the sorry house of a man.
Sorry, you can't use that word.
Okay. The guy is just an opportunist, because I see someone that doesn't love the woman. He does not, because what is love? Love is believing in someone that they will amount to something. But at the end of the day, the tables have not turned. And you just want her to go over and do the cuts that you did once 9 years ago. It doesn't work that way. For me, I feel the woman should travel with her kids. Clear her head, then before she will not think about the man. We are talking about forgiveness. When the hurt is very deep, when the cut is deep, it's not easy, because we're all humans. It's not easy. So we know, even in church, forgive your neighbors, fine. But is it really easy? That hurts. And funny enough, the man is never helping matters.
Exactly.
It's not, because you are the one that wants something. Now you are bad-mouthing the father that made her to amount to something. He's supposed to be submissive now. He needs to be loyal. He needs to start begging the family, because he has really done wrong in the past. So that's what I see. And for the woman, that's a very hard place to be. Like for 9 years, and that action he took while he wanted to get married has just been there for 9 good years. That's not a good place to be. It's not at all.
Okay, smiling mama. Oh, she has stopped smiling. Let's hear your own opinion.
Okay, this scenario is quite interesting, and I'll try to be straight. It's not controversial this time. Because I'm thinking in my head, there's just one thing Caroline said that caught my attention when he said, children don't die. Now you see that statement, it has killed a lot of persons, sorry to say. It has ruined destinies, because children don't die.
Places that they don't want to be.
And people are stuck where they don't want to be.
Depressed.
They are depressed, they are angry, they become shadows of themselves, because children don't die. They cheat on you, your wife, they cheat on you, you find that, yes, you love her, you tell them, how many years now, children don't die. It's easy to say that. It's always when it's the woman's turn, when it's the woman's turn to make a decision. What I just said is sarcastic, it's sarcasm. Like if it was the man's choice to make it, they won't tell him, children don't die.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the woman's progress, the woman's turn to make a decision, they would say, children don't die. And it's true too, it's good to always consider these children, because one parenting is not always easy, especially in Nigeria. Do you understand? But then again, this man, with his story that has been painted, there's always two sides to the story. So we don't know the man's part. But with what we've seen so far, this man is insensitive. The question I have to ask is, what has been happening for 9 years?
We've been in the house together.
You know, we've been in the house together. You won't tell me you've not realized. You were too instant to realize that I offended this woman. You know, I used to tell my elder brother, I say, you see, women, what we want is what we want. If we say we want purse, don't go to the market and get a big bag and say, oh, it's going to do this. You're trying to be logical. Don't be logical with a woman. Give her purse. Now, this woman wanted just that cut stuff. Only God knows what her dreams and fantasies were, you know, and you deprived her that. And because she was in a tight corner, she was in a tight spot, her stories also tells you that she's from a morally upright family. You know, she didn't want shame. She had to marry him like that. Do you understand? So to say that she just managed. Do you get? Now, for 9 years, that question, what have you been doing? You've not tried to make it up to her.
Obviously not, because the woman would not be
if you've been trying to make it up to her, you got her a car, you got her this, you've been trying to make her, you know, forget your lapse. You know, you get what the person will do, you go forget, say, even if you want to judge the person, she would have also stated, I won't lie, he did this.
Definitely.
He did that. He's a great dad to the kids. I've not seen any of that there. You've not been great. And your family, I don't think, has health issues. If not, she would have maybe stated also, and the elder sister is actually my friend. She's always been there for me. You know, I don't see that those clauses around. This story is just straight to show that it was just my family that was there. The only thing I would advise that lady, if she's watching right now, is do not ever offend your family. Your father, that person
Very
has been
important.
there. Very important, because at the end of the day, family is family. I've seen so many stories, I've watched so many persons, and it always ends in my family, my elder brother, my father. This time it's her father that has helped her. But if that man was trying, the father would not go out of his way to want to establish his daughter. The father don't already see her and say, this girl no get option, make her help her. I think she was at a spot where she needed help. And the father came through. So at this point, they are going around badmouthing her so that she will leave her father and come and be
Who
loyal.
has helped her to attain that position where she actually is right now.
Come and be loyal to you.
Yeah.
No, I won't support that.
All right.
Until the dad says otherwise. I think at this point, I won't say, oh, go and divorce your husband, because what make you born one, born two, born three, small good supposed to be inside there. Let's be factual.
Okay, the only way you can actually carry out a divorce is when there was a legal marriage. There was no legal marriage. So it's for
not to return the 25 naira.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure I use 25 naira.
No.
She's not even a person.
I'm going to cut you short. We're actually running out of time. Next week, we're going to continue from where we stopped. We've not actually advised that. We've been talking about what we think.
Our emotions.
Yes. So we're going to look at it next week and give our advice then. She will have to wait. Anyways, if you want to be a part of this program, if you want to send in your own comments, your own advice so that we can help this young lady out, please do also follow me on Facebook. Ameze Bazwaye is the name. Search for me and send me a DM. Tell me what you think about what we're discussing. What do you think this lady should do? Once you do that, definitely on the show next week, we'll take your comments and, of course, your opinions, advice, as the case may be. Thank you so much, Mama P. Thank you so much, CY. Thank you so much, Sherifat, for being with me today. Hopefully, you'll be here again next week. Same with me. Ameze Bazwaye is the name. Thank you so much for being there. And, of course, do join us next week on the show. Good night.
Yeah, from Little Kim, the Queen Bee. It's ladies' night, what? It must be Angie on the mic. The butter pea, honey, got the sugar, got the spice. Roll the